again. This is my thoughts on the proposed transfer budget being £40 million for the summer and where we should spend it. Now, obviously, factors we don't know, obviously, with the thing of coronavirus going on, that we don't know how the season's going to pan out. But I'm going to base it on the fact that it's null and void. Because if it's null and void, you know, these transfers become more realistic, and these are the type of signings that I would like to see. Firstly, you got the 40 million. I think we would still owe another 6 for Souček to make his loan permanent. So that takes us down to 34. I would love to see us sign Nathan Ferguson from West Brom. Quality little player. He can play anywhere along the back line. Right back, he's been playing for West Brom, but he also came through as a left back. So that provides cover for Cresswell, because personally, don't rate Masuaku, and I don't think he's good enough, and I think he will really, really push Cress at left back. And like I say, and if we play 3 at the back, 4 at the back, he can play anywhere along that line. So for me, he's the first person that I would go for. Secondly, again, a bit more steel in midfield. I'd be tempted to use or try a £30 million double bid for Calvin Phillips and Ben White from Leeds. Shore up the defence, but also shore up that midfield, because Rice needs a partner. Souček looks like he's going to be a quality player alongside him, but again, we know what we're like with injuries. We can't afford for him to be missing out, one of them missing out for a long period of time without someone really decent coming in. And Nobes is there, and Nobes will be good, you know, to come in for certain games like London derbies. But I just think Calvin Phillips is a quality player. And if we play 3 in midfield, could you imagine Rice, Calvin Phillips, or Souček with Fornals? You know, for me, it'd just be frightening, really, for the strength and depth that we would then have in the midfield. Like I said, I mentioned Masuaku earlier. I think he needs to go. I'd look to see if we can get about £10-15 million for him. If we can get a good deal, we could potentially push for the 15 if we advertise him as a left winger, you know, or left wing back. You know, certain teams, he's going to fit their systems. He just doesn't suit ours, the way we play. I'd also look to see and get further strength in, so we can try and get someone in like Ollie Watkins from Brentford. Quality striker, playing up alongside Allaire. It just allows us to mix things up, to play Allaire with him, or, you know, if one of them's injured, the other one comes in, because you've got Antonio, you've got Bowen. We're going to have Dean Garner back. We're going to have Anderson if he's still there, although, you know, I wouldn't be gutted if he left, if I'm perfectly honest. You know, might be an unpopular opinion, but I think the bloke's homesick. You know, he's homesick because of the culture of the league, because I can't explain why his performances, he isn't running at players and showing that Brazilian flair that he can do. He's not doing it enough in games. And yet I'd like to see Lanzini go and just replace those players, you know, and that way the budget will go that much further. But like I said, they're my thoughts, and it is solely going to depend on what happens and how the season finishes. If you do like my thoughts and everything else like that, feel free to add me on Twitter at Andy Gunning. I'd love to hear your views as well. Come on, you Irons.
Today's question is £40 million. Where would you spend it? Defence, midfield, or attack? Personally, it's defence. Centre half is a must. Now, a must in the sense that we need a real leader there. I mean, the General Balbona, he ain't cut the mustard for me, not at all. So, you know, you could sell him. There is, you know, you need a leader there. There will be some deadwood that we had to get rid of. That's what I was trying to say. You know, we'd sell some players. But I think we're all right in midfield, and we're in attack. Where we really need it is a centre-half, a leader, right leader at the back. I'd like to see someone like an Alvin Martin type of player. I really like watching him play. But the player I'm really thinking of is someone like a Tony Adams. I know he was a gooner, but he read the game really well. Yeah? You know, and he had a go-getter, didn't he? He told people what to do, Adams. He told Keown what to do, who to go and attack, who to defend against, and when to hustle for the ball. He controlled it all at the back, and that's what we need. Now, who is out there? I don't know. I quite like that Ake at Bournemouth. He's quite good, but he would take the 40 million probably. They'd want it if they went down. And then another one I like, who's pretty good, is Dunk at Brighton. Now, he seems a bit of a leader to me when I've watched him play. I mean, their goal difference is only -8. We've let 50 goals in and they've only let 40. He may be the one. Who knows? If Brighton go or have difficulties, it might be a cheeky bid. But that's what I think we really need. If we shored it up at the back, that would obviously gives confidence in the team to go forward, doesn't it? When we give the ball away, we know that you've got cover at the back. So really, for me, it's centre half is the most important position. You'd like to strengthen all three. They all talk about the spine, but to me, we've got a good keeper, Fabianski. Let's get someone in front of him. Let's get a centre half who can control the back. That's it for me. Centre half all the way. Either that, dig up Moro, stick him out there because he could be better than the rest of them. You know what I mean? All right. Take it easy, everyone. Stay safe. Keep well in these strange times. All right, up the hammers. Come with your words.
So how would I spend the £40 million budget that West Ham could have to play with, or Moyes could have to play with? It's a joke that it's only 40 million in the first place, as we're the 18th richest club in the world, which is annoying at the start, and we should have way more than that. 40 million doesn't get you much these days. It gets you one decent player, i.e. Anderson and Haller, in the last two windows of the summer. So, yeah, I would probably reckon it would go on defence due to the fact that, Moyes is the manager and will be. And, we probably do need a more settled defence. We can score goals when we're on top, but we always love to concede. And maybe if we got a defender in, like a replacement for Winston Reid, maybe a good captain sort of defender, then that would be the right way to spend the money. Also investing in youth, getting youth players in, maybe a better structure around the club. But with the owners we've got, I'm not confident about the money being spent wisely. But if it was me, I probably would improve the defence and definitely the midfield, because we can't keep relying on Noble every season. And hopefully Souček will see to that. But definitely get a better defence in, and maybe upgrade the goalkeepers gradually. But definitely spend it on the defence actually. That's probably the most important place to do it. But more than 40 million, please, owners. It's ridiculous.
Hi everybody, I hope you're all doing well under these very, very difficult circumstances. Now, I wasn't going to do this video, if I'm completely honest with you, because you know me, for those who've been watching JPWHU TV for a good couple of years now, I don't like to talk about rumour. I hate talking about rumour, and £40 million is nothing but a rumour in the transfer budget of whenever the next window is going to be. It's a rumour. It's been confirmed by various sources that there's nothing set yet. However, there is £40 million loss apparently. That's been floating around the last few days. So David Sullivan prepping us for a very disappointing window by the looks of it. But having said that, where do I feel we should be reinforcing? I honestly think we should be reinforcing in defence, midfield with a box-to-box player and a striker to play alongside Allaire. A proper striker, which means getting rid of the likes of Ayeti, Masuaku, possibly Fredericks. I hate to say it, but Lanzini. Anderson's not fitting the grade as much as he should be. Now, I don't watch other domestic football, so I can't say, right, I want this bloke in, I want that bloke in, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say any of that. So I'm not going to waste your time and insult anybody by sitting there going, right, we should give this, blah, blah, blah. But I don't agree with the rumour that we're looking to sell Diop for about £60 million that he wants out. He probably wants out, possibly. But I mean, I don't see why. We're trying to sort the defence out. He should be bloody loving it. But as I say, if we sell the likes of Masuaku, Anderson, Yarmolenko, Lanzini, possibly Fredericks, Ayeti, we've got one hell of a summer kitty, or next window kitty. One hell of a kitty. And bearing in mind, we'll have Bowen down on the right, possibly. You know, we'll have a very, very informed Michail Antonio to work with. You know, we'll have Ogbonna, who's been absolutely outstanding this season. A decent centre back next to him will be absolutely superb. If we sell Martin, then we look to bring in Martin and Roberto, I should say. Then we look to bring in some competition, younger competition for Anang and Trott, as well as obviously Fabianski. So 4 goalkeepers. Maybe we'll have one out on loan, so we have a youth and a backup floating around for the season. I'd love that. I think that would be brilliant. But as I say, we need to get a left back, as I say, a decent centre back, midfielder, and a striker. Now, with the players that we could sell, plus whatever kitty is going to be available. I mean, because if we stay up, there's 15-16 million pound out of that, because there's 18 million euros for Souček. Hopefully, if we do stay up, because apparently he's making all the signs that he wants to stay, that he's absolutely loving it. So good from that point of view. Very, very happy with that from that point of view. But as I say, I think if we do get rid of all the useless, and I honestly think we're going to see a very, very young, well, not very, very young, but a much younger West Ham next season. That's where my instincts are going. With Moyes saying that he wants to take he's happy to take the 30% pay cut. He's told the Premier League will probably give us a smidgen more money. We never know. But anyway, guys, look after yourselves. Stay safe. Use your noddle. And we'll see you soon.
So, we've been quoted to have a £40 million budget for the summer. And how would I spend it? So, first of all, I'd bring in a new left back, with Cresswell not being good enough, and with Masuaku being only a squad player at most. 2 left backs I'd target, if I were to bring one in, would be Borussia Mönchengladbach's Remy Bensebaini. He's a 24-year-old Algerian international. He's been brilliant for them this season. And the second one would be Fode Ballo-Touré from AS Monaco. He's 23, he's fast, both are very good players, and possibly better than what we have right now. Next position I target would be centre back, with Ogbonna obviously going old, and Balbuena not being good enough recently. My bet would be on Mohamed Salisu, 20-year-old Ghanaian from Real Valladolid. He's been brilliant in La Liga this season. So yeah, his rise to being a very good player has been exceptional as well. Recommend highly checking it out. So obviously the £40 million budget is going to be flexible. We will have sales as well. So the £40 million is just a number right now, because we possibly are going to sell the likes of Lanzini, Yarmolenko, even Ayeti. And so the third position I target would be one of the attacking midfielders. Depends on how Moyes wants to play, but I presume that we will play 4-2-3-1 or something like that. Either way, we need to have a player who can get the ball and jog it forwards from midfield. So Eberechi Eze from QPR is someone I'd love to see play for West Ham. Ollie Watkins is the second one. He can either play as a winger or up front next to Alain. That would be a very good player to have. Versatile, fast, young, obviously English, which helps the homegrown quota. So yeah, Possibly a new right back, but I'm not sure about that because Ngakia has been very good recently, and he's also helping the homegrown quota. He's the Academy of Football graduate, and Fredericks is just a good squad player to have. He's not the worst and he's not the best, but he's okay. Maybe a new striker, but that would be covered with Watkins coming in. Possibly. Yeah. Maybe a new goalkeeper as well, with Fabianski being on the end of his contract next season, I think. So yeah, that would be how would I spend the £40 million budget.
Okay, first things first, get Souček's transfer done as soon as possible. That leaves you with around, from the 40, that leaves you with around 26.3 because it's supposed to cost around 13.5 million. So you're left with 26.5 million. For me, I really think we should use this during the January transfer window. Let's use the players we have. Let's just ensure that they are fit. That's the only thing. Ensure Yarmolenko is fit, Anderson is fit, Lanzini plays well. That's the only thing we need. Then the likes of Ayeti, they really need a loan spell, somewhere competitive. And I think that's gonna be all that we're gonna need. And yeah, come on, you Irons.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Jazz. I'm just going to quickly share my thoughts on who we should bring in next year with a budget of 20 million. I like the 4-2-3-1 system, so I want to bring in players who can play that system, and also 4-4-2 if and when required. I want players who've got pace, strength, stamina, hungry, youthfulness, something to prove. Those are the kind of players I want to bring in. So out the window, I'm looking to get rid of Lanzini, 18 million. Not up to it. Injury prone, hasn't performed in many years. Anderson, 30 million. Expensive, hasn't lived up to the mark. Yarmolenko, 10 million. 115k a week he's on. Very expensive. Injury prone again. Wiltshire, I'll give him 5 million to just get rid of him. Sanchez, it's going to be 3 anyway, his contract ends. Masuaku, 7 million, not good enough. Fredericks, 4.5 million, not good enough. So that's 64.5 million coming in. That includes the 5 million we have to give Wiltshire to end the contract. Coming in, Mitrovic, 22.5 million. Give Haller competition up front. Love this player, only 24. If you can play well for Fulham up front with sort of average support, he'll be brilliant for us with a 3 behind him. More than capable of sort of playing up front by himself. Strong, good in the air, can hold it up. Loyal as well, shown by staying at Fulham. Cantwell, 20 million. He's only 21. He can play in that 3 behind the 1 on the wings, or even in the middle as well, in where Jetty's playing. Redmond, 70.5 million. Love the pace. He's only 26. He can play on either wing, can play up front if needed. Versatile, playing any of those one of the 3 positions behind the striker. Van Aanholt, 10.8 million. Left back, I think that's good. He can replace sort of Creswell, give him competition as and when needed. Izzy Abarachi Eze of QPR, 9 million for him. Young, youthful, in the Bowen sort of shape, can play up front on the wing or in the middle. That totals 79.8 million, so I've only spent 15 million really. So all those players, really good, strong players, I think. Mitrovic, Cantwell, Redmond, Van Aanholt, Abarachi, and I think they'll nicely complement Bowen, Antonio, Haller, Souček and Rice. They can stay in the 4-2-3-1, the 2 that they're holding players really. So that's kind of who I'd like to get rid of and bring in. And again, I think these are players that can easily come. I mean, we could have gone for people like Grealish and people like that who I love, who I think we're not quite big enough for those. I think they probably go to Champions League club. He'll be the ideal Noble replacement for me. Grealish, absolutely love him. So I think Mitrovic, Cantwell, Redmond, Van Aanholt, Abarachi Eze are the ones, I think. I don't want to sign any more strikers of Mitrovic because I think they're playing 1 up front, those 3 behind in terms of Redmond, Bowen, Cantwell. They can certainly play up front if need be, I think. Souček, Rice. I could have put a defensive player to challenge him, but I think at the moment I'll probably leave it the way it is. Defence is okay as well, unless Stuart, as in the papers, leaves. So that's a different topic, I think. So that's it for me, and I've saved 5 million. Come on, you irons.